Dricus du Plessis has beaten Sean Strickland once again in the rematch. And yes, fair play to Dricus du Plessis. Brilliant win there. 50-45 on two scorecards and 49-46 on the other. I personally scored it 50-45 to Dricus du Plessis. It was dominant, if we're being completely honest. Completely and easily outworked Sean Strickland in that fight. There was not really much coming back from Strickland. I was surprised because, honestly, I didn't expect Dricus to outwork Sean Strickland on the feet in basically every single round. And du Plessis was landing much easier on Sean Strickland than I thought he would coming into the fight. Strickland just didn't do enough, and du Plessis brutally ended up punishing Strickland for it, breaking his nose. And yeah, let's be real, completely outworked Sean Strickland there. And du Plessis looked much better technically as well compared to usual. That's what he had to do. He only mixed in one takedown there, Dricus. And, you know, I did say it before the fight. He isn't really going to be able to out-wrestle Strickland. He could never keep him down. And when he did take Strickland down, he couldn't keep him down. But he literally outworked him on the feet, bullied Sean Strickland on the feet, was the way bigger puncher, and his volume was too much for Strickland. And Strickland's an absolute warrior, of course. Honestly, took some massive shots for out, stayed in there with his broken nose. And, you know, Strickland came back with a few decent counters here and there, but was just always getting beaten up and mostly getting beaten to the punch by DDP. Throughout there, it was dominant. It was properly dominant. And yeah, he brutally punished Sean Strickland. Dricus du Plessis did. He brutally punished him. I mean, you know, this is how I saw it. I thought round two, Dricus du Plessis was very good with his head kicks as well, especially early on. His head kicks were very, very, very promising. Decent kicks to the body as well by Dricus. Tries to work the low kicks as well, but the head kick early on was causing Strickland problems and really making Sean Strickland think when he was coming in. Always kept Strickland thinking, and that's what du Plessis had to do, and that's exactly what he did in the end there. Sean's jab was decent as well early on, but again, du Plessis was just always doing that a bit more than Sean Strickland, landing some more convincing and cleaner punches upstairs. And the kicks being mixed, the head kicks being mixed in especially, really helped DDP out there. Yeah, round two, Dricus completely out. He outworked Sean Strickland. It was close. Strickland was decent with counters, though, and mixing the backhand a bit. Strickland got success with it. But again, it was the head kicks again from DDP. The jab was very constant from DDP. And it never looked pretty, the jab from Dricus. But it was always actually able to kind of push the head back of Sean Strickland. And it kind of messed with Sean's head a bit, in my opinion. But yeah, the backhand was constant from Dricus as well. And he was still technically sound, to be fair, Dricus. And it was much better. It was definitely much better from him, to be fair. Wasn't rushing in too much. Because last time in the first fight, he rushed in a bit and got caught with things. But this time, I think it was a much more smarter game plan from Dricus. But yeah, the backhand stood out in that second round. Third round, it was a close round again, but Dricus landed the bigger shot. Sean was more active, though, than previous rounds in the third round. Was good with the backhand, pit shots on well together late. But it just wasn't enough. And that was the case throughout the fight quite a bit as well. Sean Strickland would come on quite late in some rounds, and it's like, if only we saw that a bit earlier on in the round, but he just didn't do enough. I mean, he ended round strong, and that is important, and that is something that does stand out to judges, but the work just wasn't enough, and it just wasn't enough clean work from Sean Strickland or, you know, hard enough shots to really damage du Plessis. And, you know, loads of people were mentioning about the last fight. Oh, look at the face of Dricus, but look at the face of Sean Strickland throughout that fight today. Dricus completely turned the tides. But yeah, I thought Strickland won the first fight, but again, could have gone either way. Today, Dricus put that all to sleep and was ridiculously convincing and brutally beat Sean Strickland up on the feet. But Strickland took it very nicely, to be fair, took some big shots. Fair play to him. But yeah, the spinning back fist as well. Dricus actually mixed in that third round, and it was very, very, very clean. Who thought we would see that from Dricus in this fight? Landing a very clean spinning backhand, spinning back fist. But Sean Strickland still took a lot of these shots like they were nothing, though. So yeah, got to give Strickland his credit for that. He just took loads of shots like they were nothing. Yeah, there you go. Round 4. Sean Strickland actually ended up outstriking Dricus in this round, but again, it was the damage that won Dricus round 4. It was the nose, and even though Strickland was more active in the 4th, there was no great, massive standout shots from Strickland. I mean, yes, I thought he recovered all right when he, after his nose broke and he was coming back in with the jab. And I, again, was all right late on, but it was just never enough, though, to win anyone over of giving him the round. Dricus broke the nose of Strickland and the backhand was very good. And it was this round, though, where Dricus became a bit more messy with his work, and we saw old classic Dricus on the feet, swinging quite a lot. But, still got his success. But again, Strickland was able to make him walk onto the jab at times, but it just wasn't enough. Dricus landed the way bigger shots in the round. Then in round 5, Dricus again was very strong, mixing in some nice body work, which was good to see from Dricus. Then was following it up upstairs as well. We saw some all right level changes from Dricus du Plessis in round 5. It was throughout the fight as well. There was some decent level changes, but in round 5, it was good to see from him. But yeah, again, Strickland got success in with the jab, landed late on with, a bit of a wild overhand right. And that was coming from Strickland. He was always missing the overhand right. And again, and Dricus was able to capitalize on quite a few things. But yeah, overwhelmed Strickland in that 5th round. And yeah, there we go. Dricus won the fight 50-45. Yeah, interesting stuff. What's next for both guys? What's next for Strickland? That's interesting to see. I wouldn't mind seeing Strickland rematching Imanov. I wouldn't mind seeing that rematch. Imanov's on a good roll right now after his win against Izzy last week. Sticks, yeah, I think you should do that rematch. I think it makes sense. And with DDP, he kind of made a reference to calling out Alex Pereira after the fight. He wouldn't win that, but Dricus versus Khamzat Chimaev's got to be the next one, 100%. That'd be a very fun fight. I think Dricus can win. He definitely can win that fight. You can't rule him out. You'd probably favour Khamzat going to the fight. He'd most likely be the betting odd favourite. But Dricus can win. Dricus is dangerous on the feet, and he is dangerous on the ground as well. And I think Dricus I feel like Dricus's volume's getting better and better and better every fight, though, and that's good. I feel like if Dricus can, fight how he did in those first 3 rounds, especially against Sean Strickland in that fight there, more technically sound, timing his punches better. Thinking more about what he does, because he was very good at picking his shots nicely. Then eventually he can come in with some good unpredictable moments like we saw in round 4, and he can bloody hurt you. So, yeah, but Dricus versus Khamzat's got to happen next, in my opinion. That's the fight to make. Both guys have got different threats for each other. Both guys have definitely got different threats for each other, and both guys will badly be able to phase each other in that fight. So I feel like that would definitely be a very fun fight, Dricus versus Khamzat Chimaev. And it's the only one that really makes sense. Dricus versus Alex Pereira, it's like, it just doesn't really make sense for me. I mean, it might happen if Dricus can beat Khamzat and Pereira comes from Ankalaev. But I feel like a fight that most people would want to see, though, they'd want to see Khamzat beat Dricus, Pereira beat Ankalaev, and then see the Khamzat versus Pereira fight. But yeah, that'd be interesting. But yeah, good win there from Dricus du Plessis. Completely overwhelmed Sean Strickland there. Anyway, speak to you on the next one.